So what happens when policemen break the law? I want to share this with you guys real quick. I'm not going to do a whole big long video on this thing, but I saw this and I had seen similar stories about police officers who are confused about where their loyalties should lie, where their loyalties belong. Because I'm not gonna put that out there as a teaser. I'm gonna answer that right away. Their loyalty belongs with the people, okay? Particularly, with the people who supported them while there were some groups who were going around openly, spreading hatred, toward police officers in this country, and it was so widespread. There was a time when people were, sneaking up on police cars, unsuspecting police officers, thinking they're sitting there safe in their car, and they were getting shot in the head by people. And they were getting attacked by snipers and all kinds of other things. Police were at one time in the not so distant past, very recently, under heavy attacks by disgruntled citizens. And many of these groups who expressed this intense hatred of our police were members of groups like the Black Lives Matter movement and a lot of the left-wing liberal groups, the Antifa, and those groups on the left. They expressed just a radical hatred for the police. And during those tough times, and trust me when I tell you, I saw reports and I heard video interviews of police officers who admitted that level of stress was really getting to them. And so there was a group of people, a large group of patriotic Americans who stood by the police and supported the police during those times. And it seems that the police have forgotten who their loyalty should be to, because those very groups that supported those police when their very lives were being taken in record numbers, the groups that supported them the most, it seems that the police are now displaying a readiness to violate the rights of those very people, the core of their support. These are the people who are in their own families. These are the friends and neighbors of the people that in their own families, their wives and their children go to school with, go to the PTA meetings with, go, to church with. These are the very people that now the police officers seem to be so confused that they're willing to do, because let me tell you something. When the city council becomes so corrupt that they start issuing orders that violate the law, and when I'm talking law, I'm talking the United States Constitution, the highest law in the land. And when tyrants get on a city council, when a tyrant or a dictator or a group of tyrants and dictators get together to advance an agenda and become willing to enact legislation that is unlawful, it violates our basic, essential, God-given rights under that United States Constitution that we all, supposedly the police too, hold so dear. Because let me tell you something, Mr. Police Officer, when you start allowing these administrators over you who are corrupt and behaving like mob bosses, and you start doing their bidding, you become nothing but a thug who is hired by criminals. Just a hired thug for criminals. You've reduced yourself from that law and order shining beacon of truth and justice that Americans love so much. You've reduced yourself from a hero to a villain, just a common thug who is carrying out tyrannical and dictatorial orders that are issued unlawfully because they violate the United States Constitution. And if you're not bright enough to figure out what violates the United States Constitution, you should turn in your badge. You have no business being a police officer if you don't know when you are violating the rights of a citizen that you have sworn to protect and serve. You've sworn to serve us, the citizens of this country, not dictatorial and tyrannical administrators who have clawed and scratched their way dishonestly, probably, to get to the top of the city council. That's not who your loyalty is supposed to be. Because, listen, when people are charged with treason, when people are charged with, being traitors to America, what that essentially is are people who have become traitors to the American people. the ideals that are enumerated in the United States Constitution and the rights that are recognized in that document, that is who you're committing treason against, is the American people. If you take the people out of the equation, then there is no America. There is no, the Constitution is meaningless, because it's all about protecting the people. So when you take a job as a law enforcement officer, you better know this. You're either going to serve the people, or you're just a hired thug. You're just a common thug, no better than a Crip, a Blood. You've become nothing. You've lowered yourself from a champion of truth and justice. You have lowered yourself from what many of us view you as, the champions, the guardians, the gatekeepers of truth and justice. And you reduce yourself to being nothing but a punk thug hired by tyrants and dictators. You're just doing the work just like a Crip or a Blood, no better. You filth. So, if ever the time comes again when these other certain groups attack you, I would hope that you would be smart enough to want to keep the support from the community, that section of the community that openly supported you during your tough times. Because this story disturbs me. Mother arrested for being at a park with her children. Now, I'm going to show you a bit of this clip right here, because it's amazing that that this happened. And then, as the police usually do, they don't accommodate the people. They protect this tyrannical,
are you serious?
Overzealous cop. They stand there and protect him from the people who just want to simply deliver a subpoena to this guy. The cop, they're at the cop's house. So this guy Bundy serves.
She was just asking.
There was a woman at a park with her children, and she was arrested. Completely inappropriate. That's just the way it is.
And there was no police line to protect her.
Because what will happen is they'll grind her in the system that's called justice, I guess, until they spit her out, and she's either given up or you guys get your way. And that's the way I see it. I've been there. I've been there.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question? Can you trespass on public property?
I mean, we just want to deliver.
This is one of our problems in America. This guy's being far too soft, far too nice. We need to be more firm with our rights. When people are violating and taking away your freedom, you need to stand up a little more firmly than this guy right here.
Trespassing on public property, how is that even possible?
The area was closed.
And this cop right here, it is cops like this one who are the main problem. These are the misguided cops who don't seem to be intelligent enough to understand who their oath is to. See, this guy thinks that he's supposed to do the will of tyrants and dictators and enforce against the same people who would have supported him had he been attacked by Antifa, Black Lives Matter, whatever other left-wing group that was attacking police officers and killing them. This cop is enforcing right now, and you can see he exudes that air of almost as if in his mind he's somehow superior, and he's an authoritarian, and he loves wearing that badge and issuing orders to other people. This is the most dangerous kind of cop, because he quickly forgets anyone's a target for him to exercise authority on. He has no loyalty to the American people, because if the dictators and the tyrants tell this guy to sick you, this guy, like a mad dog, will sick you. The ones that he has sworn to protect and serve. He will turn on you in a heartbeat. On a dime, he'll turn. This kind of cop right here.
What authority?
City Hall right now, broke the doors down. They went inside, broke them.
They were damaging.
See his analogy. He says, if you went to City Hall right now and broke the doors down, nobody's talking about breaking down doors. Nobody broke doors down at a park. You guys were enforcing an unlawful order. See, and this guy's too stupid to understand that he was enforcing an unlawful order, which makes him nothing more than a common thug who is doing the will of dictators and tyrants. This guy, there's not an order he won't follow. If they told him to shoot civilians in the head, this moron would probably do it.
No, it's a public park.
There were kids playing.
There was no law.
I would like to say,
Justifying.
Make sure you stay on that side.
I work at my home.
But this is public property.
This is very revealing.
Yeah. You guys are great right there. So
Okay.
Just stay on the sidewalk.
Hey, you know, I wish you
Now, if any one of you or I had some kind of scuffle with other people or something, or if Carl Tuckerson had some Antifas outside his home threatening his wife, the police did not protect his home, even though this guy's a national news anchor on Fox Network. He's very well known. He did not get this kind of protection outside of his home when Antifa was standing outside his home threatening his wife and kids inside. But this guy, this police officer that these guys are protecting inside this house, he arrests a mother for being in the park with her children. He arrested her and left the children in the park. And look how they protect this guy. See, these are not... Look, and I'll tell you once again, I'm going to say this one more time.
When policemen break the law, then there isn't any law. Just a fight for survival.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is kind of where we're at with this group of police officers. And you know what? Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but this is a widespread problem that we have throughout this country. These police, we seem to have a lot of police officers who are not intelligent enough to understand that, they are standing right now against their own community. These are people that they live amongst. When they take off that badge and lay down and go, when they go into their homes and take off their badge and their uniform and kick back to watch a football game and then go lay their head down on their beds to go to sleep, they're doing it next door to you, next door to the same people that they're oppressing, that they are taking orders from tyrants to oppress. And I don't understand why they don't understand that it won't be long until they're oppressed as well, because, quiet as it's kept, and though these guys don't seem to be bright enough to see this coming either, but what the New World Order is looking to do is replace them with AI. All of these idiots are going to one day be replaced by AI because they're not doing anything to help the community that is trying to stop all of these things. No. They are fighting their tails off. These misguided police officers are fighting their butts off to advance the very agenda that is going to be their downfall. Wake up, people, and see what they're doing with the AI. They're training police, they're training AI to do everything that police officers do. They're training AI to replace every facet of human employment at every level. Doesn't matter what it is that your profession is, they're wanting to develop AI to replace you. But they particularly are wanting to replace the police. They're bringing in drones that can shoot weapons now. Hold on one second. Let me show you this. Okay, look at this.
Weaponized police drones. All right, today we're talking about weaponized police drones. All right, let's put 2 minutes on the clock. Take it away, Jeff.
Andrew, pretty crazy. The state of Connecticut has a bill that's going to allow not just weapons, but deadly weapons on police drones.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, how can I possibly sleep at night knowing that there can be a drone with a gun or I don't know, tear gas, something.
Missiles.
Flying around the suburbs of Connecticut.
Yeah, it sounds terrible, great headlines, but let's take a breath. Think, when are they going to use this in theory? We're talking edge cases. We're talking about a sniper in a bell tower. You got a hostage situation. You can send an officer up there to confront him, or you can put...
You can also use it to enforce stay-at-home orders.
And
You could all kinds of cool stuff. You could use it for stay-at-home orders. You could use it for to enforce social distancing. All kinds of things like that. Let me see. Here's something from.
On lethal weapons on drones. It is now legal to fight crime with a weaponized drone in the state of North Dakota. Does the use of armed drones, now these are not bullets and guns, but we're talking about tasers or even the use of tear gas via a drone. Does it give law enforcement a new edge or too much power? Former U.S. Army helicopter pilot Amber Smith is joining us now. Amber, it sounds like maybe not a bad idea, but again, do you want these in the hand?
Okay, I don't really care what Amber has to say about this. I'm just trying to show you guys that they are developing technology even in the field of law enforcement. How long before they have, because you do know about the robotic technology where they have robots that can do all kinds of amazing physical things. They can run, they can jump, they can do somersaults, flips, backflips in the air. They have some very agile robots. And if you think that RoboCop was just a movie, it seems to me that a lot of these movies that they put out are really plans, things that they have planned for the future. And so these are things that they have an intention of embarking on, an intention of, this is all part of that AI 5G network that will run and this new world order. This is all part of ushering in the new world order. So my point is, as far as with these police officers who are turning on the people who support them the most, be careful about that, because those drones may come for you one day to take your badge and your gun because you're fired. And those drones can also serve that purpose to take your arms away from you, Mr. Officer, because once they reach a point where they've got a couple of people who can control, a whole, army of, a whole shift of AI police force, they won't need you anymore. Look, they're developing self-driving cars right now. They have these robots that they are training to do all kinds of things. The drones, I mean, if you have drones that can fly around and monitor the people and who can shoot weapons at them and who can do all these other things, what do they really need you for in forces like we're seeing today? Those numbers are going to be drastically reduced because, let's face it, if they got drones flying around that can observe where the crimes are, all they need basically is for people to come pick up the bodies when the drones shoot them. They don't need you anymore, Mr. Police Officer. So if I were you, while there's still time, I would completely get rid of that propensity that you have to exercise your badge and authority over other people, and I would start joining with those people, because you could end up also charged with treason, because that oath that you take to protect and serve, that oath you take to defend the United States Constitution, you're not defending it. You're helping thugs subvert and remove God-given rights to people that are recognized in the United States Constitution. And it's treason is something that you commit against the American people, not against the document, but against the people. That's where treason comes in. When you violate the God-given rights recognized under the Constitution, when you violate those rights against the people. And that's what you officers are doing. I'm not going to play this whole thing. I will leave the link to this video in the dialogue, in the description box rather. This is on Joey Gibson, Patriot Prayer USA, who Joey Gibson is he's a real patriot, and I would advise you guys to get over to his channel and check out some of his videos, because this guy is an amazing young man here. And I just want to highlight his channel because this young man is I'll tell you what, he is in the forefront. He's a good God-fearing young man, and he he loves the Lord, and his heart is in the right place. So get on over to Joey Gibson Patriot Prayer USA and subscribe and check out some of his videos. because this is a good young man doing it, very important work. And I think that everybody should go and support him in that. So anyway, I'm going to leave it right there for this video. I didn't want to go real long on it, but I just wanted to show where we're headed and what I see as a major problem. And that is the police, ladies and gentlemen, because if the police don't recognize that they are supposed to be serving the people, then we're in trouble. And this, this is something that I thought that I would just share with you guys, because I see it as something that unless we en masse as Americans let these police officers know that this is not going to be tolerated. Now, I do want to show you one more part of this video before I cut out here, because this is actually very important.
Guys,
So I don't want to.
that's never happened. This is a special privilege. All the time. This is a special privilege. I do it all the time. This is the blue line. Special privilege from the blue line.
Yeah.
I wish you guys would protect us. Like
We don't get this special privilege.
Amen.
I would like to say that people can go to Costco and touch all the things that they want in a closed environment. But mothers can't take their children to a park out
That whole Costco thing, I totally get.
Well, I mean, Costco, Walmart, Albertsons, so on and so forth. I mean, it's really honestly ridiculous.
I understand that. I'm as frustrated as you are. You don't know what really drives me crazy? The toilet paper hoarding.
Yeah, but
You see this guy? You see this guy? This guy would shoot civilians if the thugs that he works for ordered him to. This guy is bad. And he just said, you know what? The toilet paper hoarding. This guy's an idiot. He's a complete moron. He's not very bright. And that is what I see as the major problem with moving forward. We're going to have a big problem out of ignorant cops, retarded ass cops, too stupid to understand that they're supposed to be serving the American people, not thugs.
unalienable me.
all the officers, the people will not allow you guys to do this.
And here's the message.
Here, all the
and here's the message that I want you guys to really hear loud and clear. And police officers, if any of you happen to see this video or this video that was put out by Joey Gibson, if any of you happen to see it on my channel or happen to see this on Joey's channel or see it anywhere else, and there are other videos that are similar, but if you happen to see it, you better understand this part of it.
officers, the people will not allow you guys to do this long, for very long.
No.
You will not go into parks and arrest people.
No, you will not.
You will not go into parks and arrest mothers, or you will not go anywhere.
Amen.
And arrest us for exercising what our rights
Amen.
are.
You will
We
not do
not
it.
have
Now,
that
he don't
right.
like hearing that.
We have, you have limitations.
I will pass that information
So,
on.
we have, you have limitations.
I will pass that information
So,
on.
well, I'm talking to you.
Amen. Talking to you. See, that was the smart ass guy that said that. I'll pass that along.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's talking to you, punk.
We will not.
Yeah, you will not.
Sit by idle while you guys arrest people in parks.
Left a child
or
there.
In churches.
Citing people for having
or
yard
in
sales.
in their places of work. We will not allow that to happen.
Amen.
It just cannot happen.
Think of
We
what
will
this is
not
doing.
go back to where we came.
Now, that's very important. Did you hear what that man just said? You know, God bless that man right there, because he just told those cops face to face what we all need to start telling them. And let me run it back real quick and play it for you again in case you didn't hear what the man said.
And arrest us for exercising what our rights are. You do not have that right. We have to go into parks and arrest people. Here, all the officers.
Absolutely not.
The people
that's a
will
silly
not.
question.
The
She's
people-
still yes.
You're
I'm
telling
protecting.
them if it was your way.
Hold on.
I'm here protecting you guys.
making a point here.
Hold on.
Here.
I just want everybody to know, everybody here, all the officers, the people will not allow you guys to do this long, for very long. You will not go into parks and arrest people.
That's
You
right.
will not go into parks and arrest mothers, or you will not go anywhere and arrest us for exercising what our rights are.
I like the way he said that. You will not continue to do this. And then at one point this girl says, stop doing it or something like that. But this is the message that they need to receive. This is the message that the police forces all over this country need to be understanding and hearing and understanding right now.
You do not have that right. We have, you have limitations.
I will pass that information on.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, you're here, jackass.
If you would pass that on, that
You're
would be
doing
great.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
He's talking to you,
We
punk.
will not.
Yeah, you will not.
Idle.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, when people come at you in droves, in, 100,000 strong, a group of 100,000 strong, and they stomp your dumb ass, then your dumb ass, your cowardly, all the coward and all the bitch will come up out of you at that point, and you'll be begging for mercy once they start stomping you.
We will not go back to that. And that's what
you can't shoot a crowd of 100,000 people, cop.
That is what is happening.
And just the fact that I'm even saying that, just the fact that I'm even going there and entertaining the thought of cops shooting into a crowd of innocent people who are not going to allow their freedom to be, just the fact that I'm saying that just boggles my freaking mind that I'm even saying that. But, I'm going to leave it right there. I just wanted to leave it on that point right there because they did finally get to serve this guy. The cop went and posted the civil complaint against this cop on his door. But I thought that was so very important that you hear what this gentleman right here, this man's a hero in my book, because he just told the cops face to face, you will not. And they need to hear that and understand that. Because if crowds who once protected cops and supported them when they were under a heavy attack, boy, I'll tell you what, you alienate that crowd and your ass is toast. Because when you are replaced with AI, you won't even have a friend in that community. And in the other communities, they'll remember how you arrested them. You'll be the last person I would want to be on this planet if you lose the support of these good people. So you better be careful. That's all I have on that. Till next time I talk to you guys, take care of yourselves and take care of the people that you love.